Hello, so we're going to get going on day 38 of blueprints. What we kind of figured out day 37 is we did solve the suspect admin key riddle from the book A New Clue, and that led us to the admin key Lee B, which was a fake admin account that was created to have fake admin log entries to basically lead Redguard astray from what actually happened. Like those log accounts were written to portray that like Mary was killed in her body, hidden or disposed of, in an undisclosed location, blah blah blah, to never be found, and that this Bowley and two other accomplices, blah blah blah, were going to do some like the museum heist. All of that is like bogus stuff because actually, I think Mary was involved in the theft of the Ruby Crown, and then she was smuggled out of the country by her uncle Herbert, our granduncle. Mary Jones being aka Marion Marigold being aka our mother. And then now and yeah, so we verified that going back to, I'm going to kind of start day 38. We verified that we got back into room 46. We did increase our allowance in the process yet again, so that's good. But we verified that the sanctum key we found there earlier on a previous day was a one-time sanctum key. Like it opened up the first sanctum door leftmost for the Orinda sanctum chamber, but we can't go get more sanctum keys. We verified that. Okay, I have 70 steps. I have a key because I had a clock tower in day 37. And I have 2 gems because of the gemstone cavern. I'm going to get my allowance, which is it's now 19. Alrighty. So then, yeah, it's been increased to 19. That's a good amount. Okay. Let's go figure out what our outbuilding for the day is going to be. So I am not going to detour this time to open room 46 because we don't really need to go back there right now. We know that we need to get the other sanctum rooms open is basically a primary story goal. But going to room 46 isn't going to help us do that at the moment. Other stuff we need to do in room 46, we don't really need to go back to do until we've taken care of the sanctum rooms. So, what are we going to do today? So, I know what the trading post does. I still don't find it particularly attractive to strategies that I employ. Having the hovel again, it burns steps instead of gems. Doorways, keys have generally been our limiting issue. I'm not sure that it's good to spend extra steps. Shelter gives us that. I think I'm going to do the shelter. I'm liking the shelter more and more, and this is for a few reasons. One, I do like the protection from 3 red rooms because some of the red rooms are actually useful. Like some of them have like 3 or 4 doorways, right? Or like if we want the furnace to try to get the freezer, we want to be able to do the furnace without the penalty of all these other red rooms, right? But also, if the other big advantage to the shelter is I can go in here and I can either, or have to choose, but I can either, I'm going to just check the radiation monitor, blah, blah, blah. But we were going to do a remote terminal access, and we can either, okay, 0.05 right now, okay? But we're going to log in a network. And what we can do is we can either start a lab experiment that can give us some ongoing, potentially some ongoing, benefit for the day. Or we can go into the security terminal and make, security doors low probability, right? And make them open when the power to them is off. Okay. Either one are potentially beneficial. I'm going to do one or the other. I haven't decided yet which. But I can only do one of these right now. So we do tend to get the option of both of these rooms during the day, like for drafting. They both cost a gem. I think the security is a room that I prefer that I like to draft, because sometimes I need to come back to security more than once, because what happens is the first time you access security, we set the security basically does more things for me than like the laboratory. The only thing laboratory does for me is lets me start a lab experiment. So once I've visited the lab computer or logged into the lab computer one time, I never really have a reason to need to go back to the laboratory. So if I can just choose to never draft the laboratory because I've already started the lab experiment, that can be beneficial. The security office, on the other hand, I might choose to draft the security office when it comes up in the draft pool, even if I've already accessed it remotely, because the security office is revisitable for continued benefit. The reason being is the security office lets me do a few things. One, I would set the security level to low when I don't have an access card, which is start of the day, and set it to, unlocked when the power's off. Fine, I can do all that remotely. But if later during the day I do get an access card, then what I want to do is go back to the security office and change it from low probability for security doors to high probability, because I now have a security card. Or if I get the utility closet and turn off the power, then I also want to go back to the security office and change it from low probability to high probability, because I can get through all of those doors because the power's off. One way or the for either reason, once I have the ability to get through security doors, then I want to increase the probability from low probability to high probability. So that means I have to revisit the security office generally a second time during the day when that happens. Also, the security office lets me check the inventory in the house to see if I've missed, that there are keys or gems or food places, especially like when I am running out of keys or running out of gems, but I'm also, running out of steps. And it's like, are there keys to be found? Do I burn a bunch of extra steps to go find these keys, or do they just not exist? So we have benefited from coming back to the security office multiple times during the day, because it continues to be useful in ongoing changing circumstances throughout the day. Ergo, I'm more likely to choose to draft a security office into the mansion or into the estate than I am to want to choose to draft a laboratory. So this is all to say that I'm going to remote access the laboratory to start the experiment, so that I then don't have to waste a room pick on a laboratory later. Okay, that's the thinking there. All right. And laboratory is always more beneficial in the early part of the day, because in the early part of the day, we're not likely to encounter security doors. So changing security level from medium to low is only a latter day benefit. Whereas lab experiments could be triggered in the very first, 1, 2, or third rooms that we draft, depending upon what the experiment is, right? They can be triggered earlier in the day if it started earlier in the day, and have more times to be triggered the sooner that we get the experiment started. So that's the thinking there. For each bedroom we draft after our second, each time you find some trash while digging, when you draft a hallway from another hallway, I don't typically draft hallways from other hallways. Finding trash while digging, if we had a shovel, we could go to the foundation and we're likely to find trash in the foundation. I mean, it's 2 dig spots, but one of them is typically trash. But I don't know that I'll have access to a shovel. I had an access to a shovel on day 37, so I'm metagaming a little bit, but it's not typical for me to have access to a shovel multiple days in a row. Like typically it's every 3rd or 4th day I'll get access to a shovel. So I don't really think that I can count on there being a shovel today. Bedrooms, I do end up tending to have the options of drafting bedrooms. So if I do this one, I could basically make this happen. I could also make hallway from hallway happen. But what's the benefit I'm looking for? 20 gold is nice, but I don't like losing 10 steps. That can really shorten my day. Setting my steps to 40 can really lengthen my day, but only if I'm at a point where I'm below 40 steps. Otherwise, it's going to hurt me. Because if I'm above 40 steps, it doesn't add 40 steps. It doesn't give me 40 steps. It sets my steps to 40. So it would actually, if I have more than 40 steps and I trigger this experiment, it will reduce my remaining steps. But what I can do, and then this, 1 key for every 2 hallways in a house. There's not that many hallways to draft, so this is like a couple, maybe triggered, could be, triggered once or twice. I mean, maybe get me 1 or 2 keys total. But I can game this. The way I can game this one, set your steps to 40, is I can pick something that I just won't do unless I need the steps, right? And so I will do this one. For each bedroom you draft after your second. So first 2 bedrooms are free. But then like the third, so if I start running out of steps and I've already got 2 bedrooms earlier in the day, then I can just like go hunt out and be like, oh, I need to draft a bedroom just to get more steps. So we'll do that, I think. The other possibility would be draft a hallway from a hallway, because I have absolute control over that. Like when I'm in a hallway, I could just be like, given choices, one of those choices is another hallway. I can be like, do I want to set my steps to 40 right now? Yes or no? But I'll do this one. It may not trigger, but we'll see how it goes. All right. I wish I had some other triggering options. Honestly, and then that wasn't the best experiment options. But we did get a gem. That's the other advantage to the shelter, is it has the safe, so therefore which we cracked, or we opened, so we get a extra gem out of choosing that versus having chosen the hovel, right? Of course, if we choose the hovel, then we don't care about gems at all. All right, so today I'm going to start this direction for reasons. Well, I could immediately get bedroom number 1 out of the way. And actually, I will. Just because I want to later in the day be able to trigger the third, fourth bedrooms for more steps. So we're going to get bedroom number 1 just out of the way early, so that when we're quicker to being able to do that kind of stuff. This bends the wrong way. I wanted to get back over here. None of these options are letting me do that. I have 3 gems. Observatories, generally good benefits. Let's just go ahead and do it. Hopefully this isn't one of those days where we get Draxus the Dread, whatever. Whenever it's anything other than Draxus, it's generally good benefits, and we've got a good number of stars now, so we get generally multiple benefits for doing this. Okay, those are the special flowers that are like gem flowers. And then this gives us 5 gems. So yeah, see, this is awesome. Look at all these gems we've got, and when we do green rooms, those green rooms are going to have going to have extra gems, which is super cool. So we shouldn't have gem issues today. We might have key issues, but we shouldn't have gem issues. But now I'm going to get over here, and I want to go up here, obviously, but the reason why I always want to connect the foundation is, first of all, from the foundation we can get to the underground. We have multiple reasons why we might want to go to the underground on any given day. If we finally figure out how to pump up the reservoir, or if we get, sanctum keys, whatever, right? We generally, this is a good way to get, a foundation's a good thing to connect to always. Plus, from the foundation, we can go up and we can go over here. So connecting the foundation from here is generally a beneficial goal. I do want to get back over here, but I might be doing it from the foundation over this direction. So we might be going like that, is the thinking. Parlor gives me 2 gems, but it connects me back to here. I don't like that as much. Gives me a key, connects me back to here. I don't want to have a single doorway. I don't have an option. All of these. Ooh, this could be a short day. I do not have a reroll die. Every single one of these is sending me back to here, and then I have to just hope that this doorway doesn't close out early. Okay, key is good. Gems are good. But I'm going to do the commissary because I have 19 coin. I have 7 gems, so spending a gem right now is not the end of the world. And we'll probably get Parlor and Reading Nook as options later in the day. Like, these won't be the only times I see these options, so I'm not, foregoing these options for the day. I'm just holding off on these options because I want them when they point up versus when they point down. But commissary, let's find out early what kinds of things we can buy today, and go ahead and buy whatever might be, useful to start the day with, kind of thing, right? Looks like we are going to get metal detector and shovel, which is nice. So we'll take metal detector and we'll take shovel. And I was wrong about, now I wish I had done the dig up trash experiment, or trigger for the experiment, but it is what it is. Sleepy mask would be good because we do think we might be doing bedrooms, but we'll come back and buy a sleeping mask. It might not be necessary because with the bedroom strategy we've got, if we keep resetting our steps to 40, if like we get down to 20 something steps and we do a bedroom, our 3rd, 4th, 5th bedroom, and we, you know, sets our steps to 40, then we don't really have needed a sleeping mask on top of that, right? But metal detector and shovel do things that we can't do otherwise. We can't dig without a shovel. Metal detector will give us a lot more coins and keys for the day, more keys being super important. But also we can, like, if we get a workshop, we can combine these two things, and that's even better, right? So shovel and metal detector for sure. Whenever we have the option of either or both of those, we want to do it, right? But it does mean that we are back here, and now all our hopes reside off of this door. We don't want a dead end. We don't want a dead end, so we're going to do this. If this was 3 dead end options, it would be the shortest day in the history of blueprints. But fortunately, they didn't do that to us. Already the metal detector is paying for itself, giving us a key. All right. See, this is what I was saying, where I said the reading nook and, you know, parlor will come back. Here we go. So I'm going to take the reading nook. Keys are more important than money right now. We need to get keys when we can, because like we've run into numerous days, as we get higher, we'll run into like every single door needs a key, or if we get the Great Hall, then that's a bunch of doors that need keys, right? So we can do library. We don't really need the library anymore. Oh, I forgot to bring up my drink. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my drink. So at this point, I basically have screenshots of almost every single book, you know. I mean, maybe not of Swimbird, or maybe I do, but regardless, there's just not really anything I'm really needing to like request and read. So this gives us more doorways. This gives us the same number of doorways, but costs us a coin. So, oh, well, it won't cost us a coin. We did the shelter. So we're protected from the effects of the first 3 red rooms. However, we don't need to do a red room here. Like, this doesn't benefit us more than this does, unless we can get a source of light, because we determined yesterday that this has a couple candles with gems, that if we light, we'll probably unlock something like maybe there was a safe in the chapel. But I don't know that we're going to get a light today. So why wait? We have protection from the first 3 red rooms, but why waste the first of those 3 protections right now? We could just use this on other red rooms later. Use that protection on other red rooms later. So we just do the West Wing Hall, right? Okay. And then if I do end up with a way to light candles, I'll kick myself if I don't get the option of drafting the chapel. But it's all about choices. Now, this is where I picked the bedroom thing, so I can do a hallway off a hallway and I won't set my steps to 40. Okay, that's good. I'm going this way first because, again, I'd like to get back over to here, if possible. From here, I can't go into here, and going up over here is a higher tier, and therefore more locked doors. So I'd like to come in like this way, come over, if possible. So. Parlor gives us 2 gems, but notice it's just going to dead end us. I don't want a dead end, but I don't have the option. This dead ends. Oh, this is, ooh, I gotta be careful. This counts as a bedroom, so this is our second bedroom. So if I did the quest bedroom, it would set my steps, it would trigger, I forgot this is a bedroom. So now every bedroom I do will set my steps to 40. Don't do this one yet. I was about to do this one as my second bedroom, but the spare bedroom is a bedroom. This says plus 10 steps, and it gives me the antechamber quest for increasing my allowance. But the problem is that it would trigger the experiment, which would set my steps to 40. And it would probably set my steps to 40 after it gave me the plus 10. So it would probably increase my steps to like 69, then set my steps to 40. And that would be a net loss, right? So we're not going to do that. So we're either going to just take 2 gems, because we're going to dead end regardless of what we do, or 2 items. I have 6 gems at the moment. Parlor probably likely to come up again. These 2 items, and we can do parlor. If we do parlor later, it might be where this doorway won't dead end, right? So let's do the closet because we're going to have to dead end anyway, so might as well. Gem and a key, which I think is better than just 2 gems. Because with the number of gems we have, we're really looking for keys at this point. Now I'm back to a single useful doorway. This one doorway. I hate days when it's like it all comes down to... Okay. So again, not this. We don't want a dead end. So we're going to take this, get the gem, cool, and have 2 doorways. The metal detector has given me some extra keys. It hasn't given me extra coins yet, which is odd. Typically, the metal detector gives me more extra coins than it does extra keys, but I'm not complaining. Again, I'll try to go this direction first. Try to get back over here. All right. Gives me a bunch of stuff, but dead ends me. Don't want to do that. Don't want to dead end. We're going to corridor. Gets me over here, and hopefully I can elbow my way into the foundation. Is it going to give me a coin or a key? It's... Oh. It's a coin. There we go. All right. So pantry will elbow me up here. Drawing room would go here and here, but I don't really need the drawing room anymore. Well, the drawing room, it would cost a gem, but it will have a gem in the safe. So it's basically a net 0 gem-wise. But it would lead over here, but it wouldn't connect to the foundation. Pantry will give me coins and go to the foundation. So this, to me, is the better option. Chapel, again, you know, we'd protect from it, but it'd go over here. But this just gives me coins and takes me to the foundation, which is where I want to go. Okay. All right. I'm at the foundation. I am not going to dig up the foundation yet. The reason why I'm not going to dig up the foundation yet is because I might get a workshop and might combine my shovel and my metal detector, right? I can dig it up later. This is an access card door. Don't like that. So, for here, this is an access card door. So we need a key card or we need a utility closet. Use a key. Okay. Passageway is 2 gems, and I'm considering it because of the number of gems that I have, and I could still draft a parlor later in the day. But I want a lot more doorways, especially since this doorway doesn't count. This doorway might as well not exist because I don't have an access card at the moment. So there's this doorway, which, you know, did not look like an access card doorway. So it's probably just, it might be a key, but it's not an access card. So we can get through this doorway. But that's just one doorway. So if I do secret passage, for a gem, yeah, I get to pick what this room is, but it's just one doorway. Storeroom, of course, is a dead end. So I'm going to spend the 2 gems for the flexibility of having extra doorways. Okay. And one of them is an access card. So this down here requires an access card. That's fine. So we'll go over here. Thankfully, not a key. So this is what I was saying is, like, given the choice of drafting a security or office, I'm likely to do so, and I will. It gives me doorways here and here, and I can reduce the security level. It's a little late to reduce the security level because we're already running it into 2, security doors, but I'm going to do it. So we're going to go here. View estate inventory. Okay, I have not missed anything. Good. Go to the key card system. Change the security level to low. Right. Let's reduce the reoccurrence of more security doors at the moment. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I changed the offline mode. Maybe I didn't confirm setting. There we go. Change the offline mode to unlock. So if I can get a utility closet, I will definitely turn off that power. Then I'll come back here and set the security level to high. Right? That's the thing to do. Okay. But while I'm here, neither of these are security or security doors, which is good. So I want to come down. I want to, like, fill in this area if I can, right? And I can fill it in, like, with dead end rooms here and here, and dead rooms that give benefits and stuff. Okay, so normally I would not do the dark room, right? Here's the thing. If I do the drawing room, this is net zero gem wise. It costs a gem, but then I get a gem. But then I can redraw these rooms. This won't actually turn off lights because I'm protected from the ill effects of the first 3 red rooms. But this is ostensibly better than this. The dark room might have some dropped item in it, but so could to the drawing room, right? So we're just going to do the drawing room. It gets me here and here, which are both the places I want to go. Costs me a gem, which I have, which is fine, because I'm going to go directly to the safe and replace that gem. Boom, boom, right? Every safe that we've opened now has a gem whenever we revisit that room. I don't think there's anything more to do in this room, but I do get free redraws. So I'm going to go here and try to get a dead end room with benefits, like get the storeroom. This would be maybe a great place for a storeroom, right? Or some other, or even, locksmith. Okay, I don't have a whole lot of money, but having the ability to buy keys is very nice. Boiler room power source is also good, but it's got 3 doorways. I mean, okay, we connect back up to here. I hope that I'm going to get the opportunity for a boiler room again later. But right now, I'll go ahead and do the locksmith just because I could see myself running out of keys. And I can, with the metal detector, well, I've got a metal detector, which will help me find keys and it will help me find money. But with a locksmith, I can also buy a special key. But is it going to be a secret garden key that I don't really want? Because I don't really need to get to the antechamber today. Like that, I'm not trying to get to the antechamber today, so I don't really want a secret garden key. A silver key, if it would let me buy a silver key. That'd be nice. Hmm. All right. I decided to do the locksmith. So here's the thing. See this lockpick kit costs 10 coin? I want this. Special key, I don't want to spend all my money on a special key, and I don't want to spend, 5 coins on one key, right? But I want a lockpick kit because I'm likely to find some keys because of the metal detector today, but there are going to be doors that the lockpick kit won't work on. But I want a lockpick kit for the doors that it will work on so that I can save the keys I do find for the doors that can't be picked, if that makes sense. Right? Like a lockpick kit will take care of numerous doors for me, and then the keys I find can be reserved for the doors that the lockpick kit won't work on. So if I get a few more coin, I'll come back here and buy a lockpick kit. And because I have a metal detector, it's reasonable that I should maybe find a few more coins. Oh, I could do storeroom right now. If I did nurse's station, I don't think it counts as a bedroom because it says station, but it's purple, so it might count as a bedroom. But so let's not chance that. I could redraw here, but the thing is I could do this and it would get me down to here. But we're going to do the storeroom key, a gem, and 10 coin, and then just not worry about that corner, right? And then on my way back, I will stop in and buy a lockpick kit. For sure. Yeah, so then go back and go, hey, you know that lockpick kit you're selling? I'm into it. All right. I'm going to hold off on buying a special key unless I decide I need a special key, right? But you see, because if I buy a special key, I don't know what special key it's going to be. And many times it's the secret garden key, and I just don't want a secret garden key. I don't need it. I say that, but I do have a shovel, and green rooms do get gems today. Fine, I'll buy a special key. After I gave you all the reasons why I wasn't going to, I did it anyway. And spent all my money. Ooh, prism key. If you unlock a door with the prism key in a colored room, you will draw a floor plan of that same color. Nice. Okay, cool. It's like having a secret passage on demand. Cool. I can choose when to use it. That's worth it. That's worth it, actually. I mean, it may not have been worth having zero money, but it was. I like that versus the secret garden key for sure. Okay, so this doorway and this door we can go through. This one's a access card doorway. Oh no, I think this is an access card doorway as well. Maybe access card door. Is that what we ended up? This is an access card door for sure. I think this is an access card door also. So, but this one's not. Okay. So. Yeah. No reason not to do the East Hall. Just not giving us an extra coin or key, but that's fine. And then we can go over here. Ooh, if I could code check, I could code check and get the key card, which will let me through here. We're going to code check. Previous day, I did not. I passed on the code check because I didn't like the dead end aspect of it. But then I ended up with a bunch of doors that were security doors, and I couldn't do anything about it, right? So we'll just go ahead and take the key card. And this will also let us, if we remember to do so, at the end of the day, I could check like the metal detector or the shovel, right? Yeah. So before the end of the day, we'll come back and we'll check, or the key card itself. Like we could check one of these items, at the end of the day. So before I draft this room, I'm going to go back to the security room now that I have a key card, and I'm going to change the security security level to high. I want to change it from low to high. No, I'm not missing anything. Okay. Because I have a key card, so now I want there to be more of these doors, so that I'm not spending keys on them. Confirm setting. Okay. So that now, this is perfect. So now I can get through this doorway. I have a lockpick kit and key, so I can get through this doorway. I can get through this doorway. Whatever this doorway is, I can get through that as well. So I've got 3 doorways that I know I can get through, because I've got all the tools at my disposal. So we'll just go ahead and do this one first, and then we might end up, connecting back around to here. But if not, then we'll just backtrack this way. Lockpick kit worked. Nice. Sweet. Okay. Vault. Dead ends us, but gives us 40 coins. Dead ends us, though. Billiard room, we get 2 gems. No, not 2 gems. We get key or keys, but it doesn't dead end us. But then we have 40 coin. It uses a lot of gems is the problem. This uses 3 gems. It gives 4 coins, but it uses 3 gems. The commissary is not selling gems today. It's selling salt shaker and sleeping mask. That's not useful. But if we end up with a showroom, we will have wanted those 40 coins. Or if we end up with a safety deposit key, we will have wanted the vault. So I will go ahead and take a chance on the vault, because we still haven't done the parlor room. So there's still like a couple gems that could be found, or we could do green rooms and get gems from green rooms potentially. So I will go ahead and do the vault. It does mean I will be backtracking. But the thing is if I do, this lets me, like, if I need to, I could do the kitchen and buy food for steps, or I could do a gift shop, or I could do a showroom, right? Okay. So now I'm going to come back and over here and then go this way. Yeah, and so now I'm like, I don't care because I have a key card. Okay. Boiler costs a gem, but I do like the idea of being able to do power. That really only matters if I get a pool and a... If I get a pool and a pump room, then I will have wanted the boiler room. Tunnel just lets me go up higher, but I don't really need to necessarily go higher. It doesn't do anything other than just, you know, go higher. So yeah, I'm going to be gem poor, but I will do the boiler room. Let's see what we are set to power-wise. We are not setting power anywhere at the moment, so let's do this. So that sends it straight. That would be straight would be over here. And then this would be the left and this would be right. So I don't need to send it left. I might need to send it right, but I'm fine to send it straight for the moment. Okay. So we're going to go this way. Lockpick kit didn't work this time, but we've got a key. We've got a special key, but we're in a blue room, so the prism key won't work from a blue room. It has to be a colored room. This is all red, but that's fine because we are protected from the effects of the first 3 red rooms, so perfectly fine. This is 4 doorways. This is also 4 doorways, so there's just no reason not to do the archives. Dark room is a doorway here and here, but I mean archives is 3 doorways, so a doorway here, here, and here, so the archives I think is better. Will it transmit power though? I am curious if we send power to the weight room, will that reveal the... Would that reveal the lever? I'm going to do the weight room because there's just because I'm not going to lose half my feet, so there's no reason not to. And here's the thing: is the weight room. I'm wondering what happens if you send power to the weight room, because we were told that potentially there is a access lever for like this doorway into the antechamber in the weight room, but I haven't been able to find it. But maybe you just have to send power to it. So this is just a test. This won't cost me half my feet because we did the shelter. So there's no reason not to do this test. All right, so we sent power. See how we have sent power to this weight room. So now that we have sent power to this weight room, that should affect something, one would imagine. So it sends power to all 4 of the doorways. So all 4 doorways off the weight room now get power. First of all, that's good to know. And is that all it does? Or is there now something here that will do something because it has power? At the very least, the archives might not have transmitted the power from the boiler room. And this is transmitting power in multiple directions, so that was a good choice for that reason alone. All right, I am not seeing a way to trigger access lever. So Yeah, I don't think it doesn't seem that anything has changed here for like revealing a hidden access lever. I might have to come at this at a wall with like a sledgehammer or something, or a jackhammer or whatever. Who knows? But regardless, from here, we can explore what this room would be. Because what I really want is I want a pool, and then I want a pump room, because I want to see what happens if I send power to the pump room. Okay. Laundry room would let me exchange things, but it would use my last gem, so we're not going to do that. This gives me more doorways. Tunnel basically will just dead end, so I will do the... I only get protection from the first 3 red rooms, so that's the issue. Do I want to spend my second protection on the archives as opposed to... I'd like protection on the furnace, right? But I don't have a reroll here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tunnel. It won't take me anywhere, but I don't need to necessarily do something with this. I don't see what the archives would do. All the archives would do, it would burn one of my red room protections, but the only thing it would accomplish is a doorway to this room here. But I can already get to this room here from the den, or coming this way and down. So I don't need to go this direction. So we're just going to, you know, use a room that doesn't cost me anything. Say it's all just... But it gives me a dig spot, right? I could wait and maybe do a workshop. Yeah, I'll wait on the whole digging up the tunnel. Let's see what this does. Costs me a gem, gives me keys. I don't really need keys, because I can go buy keys from the locksmith if need be, right? I have 40 coin. Dark room burns a red room protection. This gives me gems, but it does dead end me, but I can get to this room from the den, so that's fine. Green rooms do not cost gems to draft. That is good, because green rooms also will have special flowers. So if green rooms don't cost gems, but they give me gems, that will help with my gem situation. I started the day with a lot of gems, and I'm down to 1. So we're going to do this. Hopefully it will have special flower. There we go. So that will give me a gem. Oh, and we get another gem as well. So we get a couple gems from this. Perfect. It is a dead end, but that's ultimately, that's fine. But now I can really go into green rooms, right? I can do a green room strategy. I don't necessarily want to detour steps right now. I'm at 30 steps. I don't want to detour steps right now to go all the way over here to just do this room. So we're going to, you know, hold off on that. So we're just going to go like over here. Right, and maybe over here. Like, these are the 2 doorways I'm going to concentrate on at the moment. I want a pool. Give me a pool so that I can then get a pump room. Use a key. I did not want to use a special key because I did not want another red room. You know, if I used the prism key, it would definitely have been a red room. So we're going to do parlor, because that will give us 2 gems. It does mean I'm not getting over here. Music room costs 2 gems, gives me keys, and heads me this direction. Do I want more gems or more keys? Keys I can buy, gems I cannot. Right? That's the mantra right now. Keys I can buy. Gems I cannot. So, we need more gems. And yeah, I'm just kind of like, not, you know. We're not accomplishing a whole lot today, but that's fine. I mean, as far as like solving new puzzles or finding new puzzles. The black box contains gems. That's true or false. This box and the blue box are empty. That is true or false. If this is true, this could, well, if this is true, the black box contains gems, then this would be true. This box and the blue box are empty would also be true. All three boxes are empty. Well, that's false. Okay, this is, gems have to be in one, there has to be 2 gems in one of the boxes. So all 3 boxes are empty. This is a false statement. So one of these 2 has to be true. If this is true, the gems are here. If this is true, the gems are here. So regardless of, so basically both of those boxes have to be true because this box is false. Because, you know, if one of these boxes is true, the other is true. So the gems are here. Alrighty. This is a blue room, so a special key won't help. We do like the courtyard. The hallway will give us a key, but courtyard will give us gems. Gymnasium don't need it all. Well, other than, yeah, I don't need the gymnasium at all. So I like the courtyard. The problem is then I'm not getting over here, right? Hallway gets me over here, but not up here. So it's just like, pick your poison. But the courtyard will give me gems and dig spots. Gives me a trunk. I'm not likely to get a sledgehammer, so if I do the trunk, I'd have to do it with a key. I have not seen the workshop. I'm going to hold off on digging. I've not seen the workshop. Billiard room gives me more keys. Chapel would be my second red room. I have to watch out for the aquarium because I forget sometimes that counts as all the colors. Chapel will let me get here and here. Billiard room gives me key, lets me get over here, but doesn't let me get over here. So I'm going to do the chapel, and it will be the second red room I'm protected against. Sometime. Okay. If I can get a way to light candles, I'll come back and light these candles. But that's not seeming likely today. So let's try this doorway first. Okay, so now all of a sudden we can get a workshop. We can also get a dining room, which might help with our steps, but only if we can get up to here. but I want a workshop. Music room would give me keys at the cost of 2 gems. I do have quite a few gems at the moment. If I get the workshop and I combine my items and then I find some way to get steps, I can go back and dig up all of those spots. Courtyard, tunnel, foundation. Right? I can dig up those, get more useful stuff out of them, right? Plus, if I want to light the candles in the chapel, I need to find the items that would let me do so, and then bring them to the workshop to create the device that will let me, that turns into like a candle lighter, a flame source. So, as useful as a dining room would be stepwise, we're going to do the workshop. Oh, and it gives me a sledgehammer so I can do that trunk without having to spend a key. That's good. And then are we getting a coin or a key or something? We've got the metal detectors like, oh, we're getting another key. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Love to see it. So yeah, before we forget, I can't think of any reason not to combine. Well, here, if I do this and this, nope. If I do lockpick and metal detector can combine, but I don't need that. I don't think. The pick sound amplifier, I don't necessarily want to do that. What I want, because that, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're just going to do the shovel metal detector. I was like looking at other potential combinations, but I think this is the thing to do at the moment. So we need a magnifying glass and like something else that produces the thing that will light candles and stuff. I forget what it is, but it's magnifying glass and something else. All right, so let's see what's behind this door. Okay. Bunk room. Here's the deal. The bunk room would set our steps to 40, but it would dead end us. This doesn't let me get up here, but it would let me buy food and come here. This is going to give me a lot more gems and more dig spots. But my other doorway is right here. I got to pay attention to how many doorways I have. So I don't want to dead end because my other doorway, my only other active doorways are here, which is a big detour, but only leads to this area, this one room here. Or this doorway here, right, for this side of the house. So the kitchen gives me steps and gives me access to this. So let's do that. We'll buy steps from the kitchen. Well, we'll do the kitchen, and then if we want to do a bedroom here, we can, because then it won't matter that it dead ends us. Right? Yeah. That seems right. Yeah. I mean, if we end up with a dining room, then spending money on like we won't spend money yet. We'll see what the menu is. Oh, we have a boiler room. So if we get the dining room, Because we have a boiler room, we can get 30 steps from the dining room. So we're not going to spend money over here yet, but we want the option. If we, really start running out of steps, we have the option. Boudoir. Does the boudoir, I don't need the utility closet anymore because I have an access card. So I don't really need to turn power on or off to anything. Secret passage isn't going to go anywhere because it's a dead end. Boudoir, we get a gem from the open, because we open the safe in here. And if it counts as a bedroom, it will set our steps to 40, and it may count as a bedroom. Apparently, it does not count as a bedroom. Okay. No, it is. It does. Experiment successful. So it set our steps back to 40, which is good. And then we have opened this safe, so now we just get a gem from it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Could not have gone better. I will... Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. My dog was acting like she had a need, but I went down and checked on her. She didn't really, but I then went and got myself another drink while I was down there, while I was downstairs. Okay. So we have this doorway in order to really pin our hopes on, right? So we're going to go back to the kitchen. We don't need to buy any steps because we're still hoping for like a showroom or something like that we can spend our money on. We have plenty of steps at the moment because we're back at 40 steps. We can dig up any spots or open any trunks we come across at this point because, we've got all the things we need for that. So, I'm gonna see what this doorway's like. I'm not gonna, I could come here and dig up these spots now and open the trunk here, but I don't need to just this second. Unless it gives me reroll dice. I will detour because it's only a one-room detour because I could use some reroll dice from the trunk if that will be a thing. Oh, keys. I'll take keys. Would have preferred reroll dice at this point, but that's fine. We'll dig this up. It's a couple coins. We'll dig this up. The nail, but and that's fine. So I could go here. I could dig things up here. I don't think there was anything to dig up here, but I could go through here to here and dig up this. But I don't need to do all of that. Basically, I was just hoping for a reroll die before I go and do this doorway, in case this is a bunch of dead ends or useless doors. or useless room choices. The boiler room can send power this direction, but there isn't any way to conduct power through here, unfortunately. So power can't come through here. Power went over here, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do power to the pump room because there has to be a chain of power conductors, and the weight room has those power conductors. But then it's just wasted because it wasn't. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to be sending power to any boiler room today. That is a shame. I was not able to accomplish that goal. All right. Cloister gives me doorways. Gives me a key. I've got 5 keys. We'll just do cloister. Now, because I can't really send power to the pump room, now what I really want is a showroom. I want a good way to spend money. Right? That's what I want. There's all this stuff here, extra gems, dig spots, but I don't know how to get into the center of the cloister. I do not know how to do that. This is a green room. If I use the prism, I would get another green room. I don't necessarily need another green room. This would set my feet back to 40. It's a dead end regardless. Gain extra stars if I end my day there. Yeah, I'm not. I've got so many stars, I'm not worried about that. And this is technically net positive feet, but it's like not a whole lot more net positive feet. I doubt I'm going to get to the antechamber, so I don't think I'm going to be doing the allowance quest. I mean, I could be incorrect about it, but, you know. Well, laboratory doesn't do anything for me. So honestly, here's the thing. Doesn't do anything for me. Not really. Doesn't do anything for me, really. And I'd have to, like, go out of my way to end my day in that room specifically. So even though this isn't a whole lot of benefit, it's a little bit of benefit. So we'll just do this. Oh, it gave me the 10 after giving me the 40. So I'm at 50. Oh, and magnifying glass. That's awesome. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm going to... what are my recipes? I'm going to take a look at my notes and see if my notes gave me the recipe for that candle lighter, because I think the magnifying glass was part of it, but I can't remember what the other part was. So see if it's in my notes. The pages to the drafting guide 4. Is it battery pack, maybe? Battery pack magnifying glass? It might be battery pack magnifying glass. I'm not seeing the formulas, but it might be. I think my recollection I could look in my notebook. It's probably written down in my notebook because I did it once before. I just don't remember which day, so it would take me a while. So I won't worry. I won't hold you all up. But what I will do, I have a magnifying glass now, which is cool. I don't have anything in here more to examine or anything. Okay. But I'm glad that it gave me the plus 10 steps after setting my steps to 40. So that was better than I had hoped. Now let's see what this does. Okay. Furnace is nice if I can get a freezer. I don't know that I can get a freezer. And I'd have to get the freezer nearby, right? This lets me eat and get a bunch more steps, but and gives me doors here and here. Let's do the furnace. I won't be more likely to draw red rooms because this will be my third red room. So I'm protected from the effects of this. But what I really want is to then have the option of doing the freezer. Right? I want a freezer near the furnace is what I want. Okay, key to the secret garden. Yippee. I'm not super enthused to buy that, but that's fine. Let's go over here. Okay, the drafting studio won't let me get over here, but what it does is it lets me permanently add a new floor plan, or select a new floor plan to permanently add to my estate's draft pool, which is a good thing. Plus, the drafting studio itself, who knows, might have a safe in it and stuff like that. So let's do it. We've been in this room before, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have a safe. I'm not seeing where a safe would be. This spins. Oh, this is what is this? This is a black pawn, and this is the drafting studio. Do I have it in my notes for drafting studio for black pawn? No, I do not. So let's do that. Cool. Okay, so the drafting studio is a black pawn room. Okay, got it. Volume 1 Drafting Strategy Guide. And just seeing if there's anything I need to use the magnifying glass on. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I need the magnifying glass for, is the names of these. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Yeah, because we need to know the names of the angels. This one says Lydia. I couldn't quite figure out what the other one said. This one clearly says Lydia. Cool, cool. Okay, and then was that like Danya with a J, or Daja, Dauja maybe, or Danja, something like that. And then Lydia is Lydia, but it's Danja or Dauja. Okay, so that's what I needed the magnifying glass for, was for that page. Yeah, cool. I'm glad I looked at that with the magnifying glass. That's probably the only way to know the names of those particular angels in the chapel. Okay. Alrighty, so here we get to Casino. The Mount Holly Casino offers an ultimate and exciting setting for wagers of any scale, and guests may be surprised to discover how much strategy is involved in the games featured here. A buy-in of 2 gems is required for admittance into this exclusive room. So it gives games of chance. Next plan. Vestibule. An ornately framed yet modestly sized hall, it had served as the original antechamber in the old days before eventually being removed from the state for having doors that were prone to becoming stuck. Whenever you enter vestibule, 3 of the doors in this room unlock. Whenever you enter vestibule, 3 of the doors in this room unlock, and the 4th one becomes locked. Odd. So you just go back and forth until it unlocks the door you want to get through. Okay. And it costs 2 gems. Casino costs 2 gems. Vestibule costs 2 gems. Solarium. A quaint floral sitting room surrounded entirely by tinted glass panes. This room is ideal for tea in the afternoons or getting some sun without the hassle of going outside. You are more likely to draw unusual and rare rooms while drafting. It is a dead-end room, but unusual and rare rooms are beneficial. So if I can dead-end this early in the day, then it could have an ongoing benefit. So we're going to add this one, because there might be rooms that I can't really, get without having the benefit of the solarium in order to get it, right? That's the thinking there. And the previous 2, I don't think they do anything new for me necessarily, but the solarium might, let me get unusual rare rooms that I might not otherwise get the opportunity to see. So we added the solarium to our draft pool. We've looked at this. Oh, see all those small gates? Yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. I think there might be a safe in this room. The reason why I think there might be a safe in this room is because I think this is a small gates open, crack 8 safes clue. If we count small gates, 8 gates crack 8 safes. And this looks like a small gates clue. So there should be a safe in this room. Where? That's going to be the question. How do I reveal it? Well, I'm going to take a picture of this regardless. This is the drafting studio. Yeah, there's got to be a safe here somewhere. It's just a matter of where. Where? I mean, is it here? How do I reveal it? It's maybe in the wall. Right over here or something? Over here? Well, come on, I know there's I'm pretty sure there's a safe here somewhere. How do I reveal it? Hmm. I mean, I'm staring at these things. I'm thinking the safe's got to be like right here. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Very detailed paper model of a safe. Oh, okay, cool, 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 cool. So this is okay. There we go. That's how we do this. Okay, so oh, that is wild. I didn't even notice this was a safe, but I saw the eyeball when I hovered over this. Okay, so that's the safe. It's this paper model safe. Whatever. I guess. I mean, this paper model safe here, but so now the question is, what's the code? I mean, if I count small, so there's three of these types of small gates, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those types of small gates. So I can try 0305 or 0503. So let's try those first. Oh, where is that paper model? It's right here. I mean, that's the safe. I'm going to go back and try more codes, but I'm like, I've tried 0305 and 0503. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 here, and 2, and 2, and 3. But these are like, these gates up here are all one style, and these small gates down here are all another style. So that seemed 0305 or 0503 seemed very likely to me. I mean, I could try it with November, like 1103 or 1105. Well, if or 1108, I could try any of those combinations. I could try 1107. I could try 1107 because it says Saturday 7th. It's just I really thought it was going to come into the small gates clue, but I would try 1107 because this has got a marked on the calendar 1107. We can try that, but I was just saying if there's anything else in the room that would be like a month or day that would go with the small gate count. Because if the small gate count was a total of like 8, and that was one of the numbers, like if it was 08 and some other number or some other number 08, what would that be other than like November? I'm not seeing anything in the room. So, okay. So let's try November 7 because that was marked on the calendar. Clear. Okay, so there was, if the white gates were considered medium size and the other gates are small, then there was 5 small gates, so 1105. Nope. It could be the total number of small gates regardless of what they look like. That would be 8. So that'd be 1108. Ah, shit, that was it. Okay. So it was the month from the calendar plus the number, the count of the small gates in the picture. Awesome. Cool, cool. We get to read envelope 5. Awesome. Yeah. So, and it's very, very, very small. But I can still read it without the magnifying glass, so I'm gonna take photos. So let's see. Hello. Oh. November 8th. Uncle, in a few hours we are departing. As planned, we will be taking the old Mountain Way tunnels to the north. We'll go as far as we can by trolley until the rails give out. Then we'll proceed on foot until we reach the southern border. I've never been as excited, nervous, and heartbroken. I may never know if I've made the right decisions, but I've made the ones I felt my father might have nodded an approval at. I'm leaving a message for Simon here in the safe house, this unhallowed cavern that we have called home for the last year. If something should happen to me, please guide him to this place. Try to show him what these lost days were all for. Explain to him, if you can, the intersection between foolishness and doctrine, the thin wire we stood upon above the world, holding hands and throwing stones. Holding hands and throwing stones. In those days, we were guilty of everything. As always, Mary. Yeah, so that's our mom. Mary is definitely our mom. I mean, I knew that, but it's just confirmed, you know, keeps reconfirming it more and more. I want to take a screenshot of that page. Come on. Okay, so this is from Mary herself. So I'm going to make a note. So we got another safe. One I didn't even know about until I got into the room. Okay, so this is the drafting studio safe code. Cool. Now that I know what to look for, like if I see a room that has clues that could lead to, you know, gates or some variation of that word, or dates or something, it's like, oh, there might be a safe in this room, and you know, and then like sure enough there is, but you got to like look for it, you know, sometimes. I did not find it. I did not know to look at the paper models, but I guess it makes sense in retrospect. But if I had not seen the eyeball hover over that paper model, I would have probably given up for today and just tried it again another day. I almost had given up, to be quite honest. But at any rate, it was from from calendar, month, and picture of small gates, and it ended up being 1108, which is what the letter is. Isn't the letter? The letter is dated 1108, isn't it? Yeah, November 8th. Yeah, so it's also we didn't know it was going to be the date of the letter, but it is. It's the date of the letter. So cool. So that gave us envelope 5 from Mary. Okay, and then, yep. Awesome. Nice. And then there's this phrase, holding hands and throwing stones, holding hands and throwing stones. I'm going to mark down that phrase because it seems significant. Holding hands and throwing stones. Okay. I mean, I've got pictures of the whole letter, but that seemed significant phrasing there. Cool. I've been in this room before and had not noticed that it was a room with a safe. Had not noticed this safe. Yeah, if you get right, I guess to get the eyeball, you have to be like right over the safe. So you have to actually just look at the paper model, in theory, and see that there's a safe there. In theory, I had just never looked that closely. Right. Yeah, there's nothing else really, I guess, in the paper models, but it's really like you just have to go here and just see that there's that safe. But I didn't notice the safe. What I noticed was the sight ball. I was going this way. I was like, oh, eyeball. But cool. Okay, awesome. That's kind of worth the day, maybe. We get up here. This is a blue room, so the special key won't help. Use a key Hope for a freezer, not a freezer. Okay. But a hallway will let us over here, so maybe we could get a freezer over here. I'd like a reroll die, but I'm not likely to get a reroll die. Ooh, I could do the trophy room. The trophy room, I can also get over here. Takes 5 gems. I happen to have exactly 5 gems. Gives me 8 gems, so then I get 3 gems back. But more importantly, it's a new room we haven't been to before. So we're going to do that. Because I don't really want to open the antechamber today. I don't need to open the antechamber today. Even though I have this quest bedroom. I'm fine with that. I much prefer the trophy room that we have yet to see. So let's see this trophy room. Okay, so now we have no gems. Ooh, the trophy room has a spinning globe, so we're going to mark that down in our notes because that's some sort of maybe active puzzle. Okay, and then is there a chess piece here? There's all of these gems, so we're gonna. These are the 8 gems we were promised, so we're gonna get all of those. Nice, nice, nice. I'm not seeing a chess piece, so I guess there's not a chess piece associated with this. Is this note just simply the different trophies we could get? Yeah. This is just we get this in the entrance hall as well. It's the full list of trophies that we could achieve. This is the trophy we have achieved, the inheritance for trophy for reaching room 46. And that's it. Okay. And that's the only trophy we have so far. But I was hoping to get more like clues. This is a new room we haven't been in. We want clue information. Oh, camera doesn't show us anything. Chica, this is not. If there's a safe in this room, just thinking about safes, you know. I'm like, it's doubtful because I'm not seeing hints to like clues that would hint to a date or any number combination, right? So it might just literally just be a room that displays our trophies, but gives us a bunch of gems. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I'm not getting, I was hoping for more clue information or puzzle information. I'm not seeing it. I could be blind, but I'm not seeing. Other than this might, you know, might be necessary to know that this has got a globe. That might be relevant information at some point. All right, but we're moving on. I really wanted a freezer, but attic, 8 items. Here's the thing: we're gonna do the attic. The reason why we can do the attic, well, or I could do the music room, because music room would go here, and we could still maybe get a freezer. But with the attic, we can maybe get the item that we need to combine with the magnifying glass in the workshop to produce fire to go to the chapel to light those candles. And if I do the music room, it gives me keys and lets me do this room, but this room is not necessarily going to be a useful room. It won't necessarily be a freezer, it won't necessarily be the attic. I'd like to do a freezer. Oh, wait a minute. I have to think about this. I have no more doorways. If I do the attic, it's my last room of the day. For some reason, I was thinking I had doorways over here and had a doorway over here still. I do not. From here, because I did the drafting studio and it just went this way, we gave up any opportunity to do any rooms over here. So if I do the attic, I might be able to light the candles in the chapel, but I definitely won't get a freezer. If I do the music room, I don't have any reroll die. I might get the freezer, but it's unlikely. I'm going to presume that the 8 items are... we're not going to get to keep most of them because it will be we'll have to end the day. And I'm not getting away. I'm not getting anywhere that I can spend money. I'm not getting a showroom. Ooh. I want to light the candles in the chapel though. This last room could be nothing. Could be literally nothing. And getting keys I can't keep. Oh, I have one more room over here. I have one more room over here. So I can go all the way over here and do one more room over here. Even if it's the freezer, it will be too far from the furnace to matter. But I do need to remember that I have this doorway over here still. It won't matter if it's the freezer. I'm going to do the attic because the chances that this is going, if I do the music room, it would only be because I want this to be the freezer, and the chances of this being the freezer are minuscule. I'm torn. Because the attic might not give me a battery. If the attic doesn't give me a battery, it's a waste. And there's a potential that I could come over here and get a battery out of this room. Ah. 8 items. Most of which are going to be like gems and keys, but could be reroll die. But reroll die won't matter because there won't be a doorway here. There's gotta be a battery in the attic. I'm going to do the attic. I really want to do this and get a freezer here, but if I knew for certain that if I took the music room I'd get a freezer here, I would do it in a heartbeat. I want the freezer next to the furnace. I want the secrets out of the freezer. But chances are I won't get a freezer. So I'll take what is being offered, which is an attic. An attic is what is offered. A freezer was not offered. So first of all, that's 1, 2, 3. We put attic down for White Bishop, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Okay. 4. 5. 6, 7. The trunk shouldn't count as an item, so where's my 8th item? Where is item number 8? I tried to very specifically count as I was picking them up, but maybe I missed out the count. Okay, so we're gonna open the trunk, and it's more gems, but no battery. Now I wish I'd done the music room. I got a bunch of stuff I can't use. A bunch of stuff I can't use. Okay, so what we're going to do... I didn't get a reroll die either. I didn't get a reroll die or a battery. See, if I got a reroll die, then I could have had another opportunity to get a battery from the room off the den. There was no, this was like wasteful. That sucks. Now I wish I'd done, in retrospect, I wish I'd done the music room. But there was no way for me to know. I really was like, this will give me a battery. But no. Wait a minute, there's like a letter or something over there, right? There's like a note in the bottom of that thing, but I can't get to it because of all the junk in the way. And there's something right there. I mean, it's not one of my promised items, but it's just like it's probably a clue of some kind. But I don't know how to get to it. Yeah, I've gotten a picture of that. He's pointing at something significant, I realize, but maybe I'll end up with an item that will let me clear junk out of the way, and then I can get to that clue at some other future date. But I swear there's a note right there. I swear there is. Man, I didn't get a freezer. I didn't get battery. So now I have to go. I've already dug up the courtyard. I'm gonna have to dig up the foundation and the tunnel. Trying first to try to get reroll die before I come here. If I could open the cloister, then I would be able to, you know, do this as well. Chapel. Ah, man, I really want to be able to do... I know I'm going on and on about it, but I want to be able to either light these candles, that's why I drafted the chapel, or get a freezer by the furnace, and I did not accomplish either of those. I mean, I did find a letter in the safe in the drafting studio. Granted. Yes, that is a true statement. But I'm greedy. That wasn't enough. And I also didn't get to do boiler room to pump room, you know. So I'm feeling like, I didn't accomplish my goals today. But it is what it is. You take what you can get, I guess. We're gonna detour to the... I also never found the secret lever in here. Go figure. Silver key is nice. I never used the prism key that I bought. And now I've got a silver key. And I've got a compass that will draft rooms that head north. What I really want is I don't want a specific room at this point. Because freezer over here is too far away from furnace to matter. What I want is an item that I can combine to create fire in the chapel. I want a battery is what I want. So I need a reroll. Well, I say reroll die, but I'm not even sure what room I'm looking for. What room is going to have a battery? Right? I don't know. Showroom. That's what I want. I want a showroom. I want a showroom here is what I really want, because if I can't get a battery, then I want to be able to spend money on stuff, right? Or so a showroom or a gift shop. Unfortunately, the prism key doesn't let me pick a color. I've got a secret garden key. I've got so many special keys. I've got a prism key, a secret garden key, and a silver key, and none of them are going to be worthwhile to me today. They're all just kind of like, useful on other days, but not today kind of things. Disappointing. Okay. Regular key, don't care. Old tin can. Alrighty, well, so much for best laid plans of mice and men. This gives me another dig spot, but unless I dig up a battery, you know, what do we care? This would actually, the ballroom would set my gems to 2. I'm going to lose all my gems anyway, so, but there's no reason to do the ballroom. I guess I will take the dig spot of the aquarium. Oh, and it counts as a green room, so it might have a flower as well. Give me another gem, but yeah, so coins that I cannot spend on anything. A gem. Wow, I really wish I could store my coins. Even if I had gotten a freezer here, a freezer would have been nice here, because freezing 12, 6 keys, 12 gems, 51. Well, it wouldn't freeze my coins, I guess, but my keys and my gems would have been nice. But now I'm just going to go all the way back over here to the workshop to see if I'm wrong about needing a battery, if I can produce a light source without a battery. I don't think so. I think I need a battery. But I will check it out. Yeah, there's nowhere else I can go. No more doorways. Nothing I haven't dug up. I can't buy anything useful from the locksmith or from the commissary. Because Sleepy Mask and Salt Shaker don't combine to create anything that lights fire. Food from the kitchen's not useful. I feel like today had some wasted opportunities. I mean, we accomplished maybe one thing with the whole with the drafting studio. The drafting studio, we accomplished something, but the rest of it was a waste. And I have to remember to go to the code check. I do have to remember to go to. Let's do that. Let's just go to the code check right now. We'll go to the code check later, because we don't want to be like minus the one item we needed to craft the thing, right? I have plenty of steps to get to the code check afterwards. I just have to remember to go to the code check. All right. Magnifying glass. Yep. does not combine with any of these things. Yep, no, that's a waste. Okay. So yeah, we won't get to light those candles, unfortunately. So I will go to the coat check. I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I wasn't given the opportunity in the freezer. I wasn't given the opportunity of the studio or the I mean not the studio, the showroom or the gift shop. It's like if I have money, the game won't give me the rooms that I can spend money on. When I don't have money, it goes, hell, here's a showroom. You can't get enough coins today to do anything with it, but here's a showroom, right? Or it'll give me the freezer at the beginning of the day when I don't want to freeze my keys and gems, and right? But it won't give me a freezer when I actually got a furnace. It won't give me a pump room when I have a boiler. It's like the game, I'm going back to the whole paranoid, the game cheats, you know, it sees what I've got, it knows what I would be what would be very useful to me, and it goes, yeah, no, we're not going to give you that. It's so super annoying. We are going to here. We'll check our inventory, make sure I mean, it won't say anything about like battery or whatever, but I just want to see if I missed anything. 2 gems somewhere. I don't even know where, but it don't matter. 2 more gems that on top of the 12 that I'm already gonna like not get to keep. A waste of dead ending and of all, I mean, just a waste in general of all that kind of stuff. So what am I going to check? So I can check lockpick kit, prison, one of the keys, the key card, right? Detector shovel, that's nice because then, yeah. Let's check the detector shovel. Because otherwise the detector shovel means I have to, I would have to, in order, otherwise to have a detector shovel, I would have to get a shovel, get a metal detector, get a workshop, combine them. This way I can just like go check room, get myself a detector shovel. Key card might have been what was the other consideration because of how often we run into that problem. I don't think there's any particular room of the house that it benefits us to end in. I don't think going down to the underground benefits us right now. Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it a day. I have like 24 steps, but I don't have anything to really do. So I'm just going to call it a day. This was day 38. I'm going to look at all this stuff I'm not going to be able to keep. All this nice stuff. Ah, well. Call it a day. I'm going to call it. This was day 38. Thank you for being with me on it. And we'll see you for day 39. This is, oh, Mount Holly, garden shopping setting, 4 green rooms, 4 shop rooms. Total rooms 38, rank reached 9, steps taken 97, items found 5, new rooms 1, which was the trophy room. Alrighty, have a good one.